With me here is two of my greatest books. I've read tons and tons of books for the past like 5 years, and I've gotten amazing information from different minds across the world, all the way from America to Asia to Africa to whatever, South Asia, whatever countries it is. And I've gotten tons of good information from different fields: philosophy, psychology, history, religion, science, technology, neuroscience, to all these things we that these authors talk about, and I can't imagine how much information can be contained in a single book. For example, this is Sapiens. Sapiens is written by Yuval Noah Harari. It's one of my greatest book. I think it's my second greatest book. So I want to talk about my greatest book soon. So Sapiens was written by Yuval Noah Harari, I think somewhere around 2007, 2009, 2010. And reading this book has really made me view the human nature and the world with a whole new perspective and from a whole new viewpoint. Because Yuval Noah Harari is really learned. He's a historian who went to Oxford University, and now he's a professor at Hebrew University in Jerusalem, Israel. Um, I can't imagine how much his books can really transform how you view the world and how you just look at human nature and the human being as we know it. So it's an amazing book, and he has also amazing pictures in this book. Of course, he decided to kind of give us a brief history of humankind from the time of the Big Bang to the agricultural revolution to industrial revolution up to modern day information age. And I recommend anybody and everybody to read this book as deeply as possible and as many times as you can. It's an amazing book. The author really put in a lot of content for both of us. In this book, you're going to learn about the cognitive revolution, when we became cognizant of our environments, and of course, this after the Big Bang. And then we're going to also talk about the agricultural revolution, and then the scientific revolution, and then the modern day and the end of Homo sapiens. It has great pictures. You can see the picture of the former president of the United States of America, Barack Obama, in some page. So get the book, read it. It's one of my best books. Get it and read it. So my best book so far is Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. No book for me beats this book. This is the best book I've ever read in my entire life. Like, I've read, I don't know how many books since I was born, I can't remember. But since I started reading for myself, self-help books for the past 5 years, Laws of Human Nature beats all books for me. I don't know what book for you, but this is probably the best book ever. Now, this is like 18 books in one. And if you don't know, the author of this book is one Robert Greene. Robert Greene wrote 48 Laws of Power. I think probably that is the most known book that Robert Greene wrote, 48 Laws of Power. If you haven't read it, also it's like an amazing book. He also went ahead and wrote the 50th Law with 50 Cent, I believe. I've also read that book. It's an amazing book also. But by far, Laws of Human Nature is my best book. Now, I can't even start to say how much is in this book, because every page, literally every page, every sentence, every word will touch you. You'll feel like you are learning a lot by just reading one paragraph of each page. So let me just, in brief, just tell you what the book talks about. Number one, it talks about the mastering your emotional self. So in this book, actually, Robert Greene goes ahead. In every chapter, he tackles social emotional behaviors and interaction between human beings. And actually, that's that is his thesis and theme in most of his books. He talks about how human beings interact and how we relate with each other. So this is no different. He's also talk about the same thing, but here now he has gone deep into human behavior and social interactions, and he has talked about our emotional, especially our emotional side. For example, our ego, our fears, our anxieties, our insecurities in this book. Some of the things he has talked about is our irrationality as human beings. He's talked about our narcissism. We are all narcissistic, as much as we like to point fingers at people and say so and so is narcissistic, and I'm not. He also talk about the law of role playing and then compulsive behaviors, the law of short sightedness. We kind of like to see things in the short sight, what's going around, and not see uh, the long range of things. The law of self sabotage, the law of repression, the law of grandiosity, the law of gender rigidity. Robert Winter says, try and have or practice both gender. Don't be like so much masculine or so much feminine. Try and be in the middle, kind of sometimes you're feminine and masculine, because there are benefits or advantages of trying to be or act both sides. So don't be so rigid in your gender. So the law of gender rigidity, plus many, many others. These are like 18 different laws it talks about. The last law is the law of death denial. Death is something that happens to all of us, but somehow we kind of want to see that there's something elusive, that won't happen to us. There's something that is far away. But the truth is that is there and it will always happen to me and you, whether we like it or not. So that is this last chapter, is chapter 8, law of death denial. So really, I can't start talking about this book, because if I start talking about this book right now, I probably take an entire month just talking about this one book. Anyways, those are my two great books. If you like them, please go ahead and get them. They'll transform your life. They'll transform you with the world, how you interact with other people, and most of all, they'll make you a better human being with better social skills and interaction.